Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome back to Mind, Body, and Heart Tower Therapy. First of all, Happy New Year. Uh, yes, it's finished, 2019. That Jupiter in Sag wasn't all that great for all of us. Um, it was quite intense, and maybe in a way, it's actually really good for you, Sag, that it's been moving on to Capricorn. You had a little bit of time to get used to it and to take a little bit off some of that pressure, but also the nurturing, because weird as it was, Jupiter intensively pushing Sagittarius there, uh did make Sagittarius feel somewhat safe in that all the midst of that insanity. Anyhow, I think this coming year it's very interesting for all of us. It's an end of a decade. It's the beginning of a new one. A lot of transitions going on right now. So yeah, let's go into the cards. So this is a general reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. Don't stretch it or try to fit it in. You'll know. Just trust your intuition. All right, my darlings. Let's see what's going on here. So we have the Two of Wands as your current energy. We have the Five of Swords with the Three of Cups as your challenge. How very interesting. You have the Five of Wands as your focus. Okay. The Six of Cups is your advice. And the Sun as your future energy. Hell yeah. Bottom of the deck, the Chariot. Well, this is what I'm talking about with the Jupiter and Capricorn now. Fast moving energy. Straightforward. We like that, don't we? All right, let's pull out the clarifiers. See what this is all about. All right, so we have the Six of Cups again. Ooh la la. Called Pleasure in this deck with the Two of Wands. Well, that's an interesting one. Lust. Oh, it's one of the major arcana in this deck. And it's 11. Ha. Because the way I look at it, I associate with strength, but it's not strength. I think in the weight deck, number 11 is justice. That's a very interesting combination of imagery and but I'll take it as lust. Your focus is your luxury, the Four of Cups with the Five of Wands. Your advice is the Magus. Here's another major arcana, which is the mage, basically the magician, with the Six of Cups. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Sun as your future energy. Well, this couldn't have been better. And the Three of Wands, Virtue with the Chariot. So here we are, my dear Sagittarians. The Chariot is moving forward. You're leaving behind the safety of the castle and you're going up into a new adventure to learn more, to grow more, and to get things done. and you are aware of the dangers, and as well as you are excited for the wonders that this journey is bringing. And you're also connected to your shadow self as well as your conscious awareness. So you're going out with a pure heart, and you're guided by the divinity, you're guided by the stars here. The seven of the chariot does talk about having all the physical resources to go ahead to reach your goal, whatever that goal is. And with the three of wands here, and I like that it's called virtue in this deck. It may be that you're actually having an wow, this is two of wands there. It may be that you're learning to make choices from a place of virtue, and not that you haven't done that before, but maybe what virtuous to you now is not what it used to be in the past. So maybe you've been called back home here in this castle to revisit that. What were the virtues back in the day? I know we had the holiday season. Some of us, or many of us, had spent time maybe with family, or maybe we've connected with the idea of family. Maybe you're not celebrating at all and it's just another day, that's perfectly fine as well. But I think in general, the society at large in the Western world tended to kind of go back home in a sense, either physically home, go travel to their hometown or to the parents, or meet somewhere with the family, or mentally sometimes maybe we're far away, but we're thinking more about our family and about where we're coming from and what were the habits around these very commercialized holidays, whether they come from a religious reason in your family or from a commercial one, whether they were fun or whether they were not fun. There we go. I mean, like, but anyway, I feel like you've been called back into your inner family, if you want to call it this way, if you can't relate to the rest, but it can be very literal as well. And you had like this month at least, you're re-evaluate your value system based on what you've experienced in this Capricorn season and Sagittarius season, really. um and with this Jupiter being in your sign for an entire year, Jupiter is all about the belief system and ideas and so on, and it's your ruler. So you had a lot of time to literally taste into your own spiritual beliefs, into your own value system, into what you consider to be a virtue, what you consider not to be a virtue, and you have a much more authentic view on that, like something that you've digested yourself, not necessarily you were told to be like this or borrowed or imposed upon you somehow in your environment. Is that time where you now you're going out there and you're working more from this type of virtues that you've been adopted. I think this is what this month is doing for you. But it's like the Chariot is like really, it's cardinal, it's moving forward. It's Cancer energy though, from what I remember. I don't know why I don't see that as Cancer for the Earth of it. But yeah, maybe that inner security. Cancer has that inner security. Being able to nurture oneself and being able to know that they're safe. That's why they can go. The Two of Wands and the Six of Cups, which in this deck is called Pleasure. Two of Wands is the moment of choices, and it always brings us that reminder that we shouldn't just settle for anything that comes in because we are afraid of the journey, or because we are afraid to risk, or because we feel that we lack something, or we're not good enough, or anything of the sort. We need to take some time use those virtues that we've been redesigning now, and find something like the choice that is coming from virtue and the choice that comes also from pleasure. We want to have a pleasurable life. It doesn't necessarily mean that that very physical pleasure or simple pleasure, like, okay, I like to sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's not about that. It's more like the pleasure that's something that you enjoy doing in your every day-to-day life, to maybe not have just a job that gives you the money and you suck it up for 8 hours a day or however long that is, and the rest of the day you recover from that, or you're like drinking and whatever, just to relax from all the stress that you've put on. And I'm not saying this lightly, because I know it's very hard in society today. It's not easy to do really what you want. I don't know if it was ever easy, to be honest. Because if you look back at humanity in the past, it's not as if it was ever better than now. It was, weirdly enough, this is the best humanity has ever had it so far, at large. Not talking about the nobles or about the I don't know, royal family that may have had it much better in the past, or I'm talking about humanity at large. I don't know how I got there. Let's get back to this. The Two of Wands, this guy's holding the whole earth in his hand. He's holding the world in his hand. And that shows also that we create our reality. And I think that with the Chariot here and with the Three of Wands, with virtues, you're very well equipped to create the reality that you and make the choice that will enable the reality that actually can bring you pleasure, not just suffering. So don't settle. I think that you're there already. This is your current energy. You're pretty much in this position where you start feeling this. You start feeling that you have more power than maybe you suspected you had before, and that you don't necessarily need to go through suffering in order to enable pleasure. You can choose a life where you can be both virtuous and pleasure, experience the pleasures of living, of being alive. Five of Swords, I remember it appeared for you also last month and maybe 2 months ago too. So you've been really working with this energy of the Five of Swords, with you being a fire sign. It's interesting. um I know this is swords energy, but I feel like fire signs can make use of it more sometimes in certain ways. The Five of Swords is when we put someone else down in order to bring ourselves up. Is that type of like conflicts and fights, and we're like, just trying to uh, win over someone else, not win because we just won. And it's not something that we take lightly. It's something that it's like really, and this usually shows up when we feel threatened, when we feel that somebody is taking from us, then we need to take it back in a sense, or we need to impose ourselves over someone else, and that type of power games. And this is to be challenging for you. That side of you may be showing up again, and it may show up in your friendships and in your relationship, and that can be pretty hard. And it may be driven by lust more than by virtue. In certain aspects, it will show up. It needs to show up right now, because now is when you have the strength. Now is when you have the virtues. They're on the table, you're working with them, and now is when you have the choice, and when you start like seeing the vastity of the universe, really. So it's very normal that these things will show up to challenge you, because that's how we grow, by taking challenge and by tasting through it and by learning how to cope with it. And then it will become less of a challenge and will become something else. It will become a won battle, but actually not one battle. It becomes growth, because you won't need battle anymore. This is very fiery energy. This is really, really fiery energy. And yeah, there can be a lot of pleasure in lost in going for what's really like very intense, maybe physical pain, either through sex, either through drugs, either through great food, but very, very like comfort food or whatever, or all of those and more. I have no clue. What are your, what's your range? Yeah. But you know that by when you work with your virtues, this type of lust, you can use it to a certain degree in order to take you maybe to tempt you a little bit out to to go out there to explore the world. You know, we need sometimes like a little bit of a carrot in front of us to like the donkey with the carrot, so we get that motivation to come out. So nothing to demonize there. What is important though to know that this lust, it's if we just like that's all we want and we stop there, then it can be very detrimental and it can just keep us trapped, keep us trapped because it's good, because it feels good, because but we end up resenting ourselves eventually. And I think you know that. I don't really need to remind you this. But yeah, this is challenging for you a little bit. Maybe you can become making too much conflict around you or attracting too much conflict around you. And yeah, maybe attracting this type of like I can let my lion out and I don't know, show that I have power over someone else. And this being of your focus, the five of wands with luxury. You see, these people are also fighting here, but it doesn't need to be serious. There are no swords here. There's no they can't really cut each other. This is more like a competition. This is a playful, a light fight. It's more like a healthy competition. We can play around, we can, show a little bit what we're made of, show our strength, show our fire without having to burn each other, without having to put each other down. It's like when you play, okay, this is the most simple example of playing board games or playing computer games or actually playing nice games outside where you right now can be fight competition. I don't know, aikido, karate, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is that you may be practicing. Anything, really, anything that involves other people, maybe your friends in this case, or and stuff, and allows for some friendly competition. And that's great. That's a drive. That's something beautiful. That's something sometimes we really like, especially fire signs, to have a little bit of a like show our claws a little bit, but we don't need to do so by putting somebody else down. We can shine without that. We can play together. So I think that your focus and it's that you do have the luxury to just play right now. You don't need to fight for death. You don't need to fight for victory. It's just a game. It's just a game. And you have the emotional stability to stay focused in this, that is just a game. And even if you get triggered, the five of swords appears when we get triggered, or it's just because it's a pattern that we've been repeating forever and we don't even realize we're doing it. But with the five of wands, I think that and with the four cups especially, I think that you have the emotional stability and you have the luxury right now to focus on all as a game and not taking it too seriously and too hard. Do not allow your ego to feel threatened, and if it does, allow yourself to flow some love that way and remind yourself that no, I'm not under threat here. Nobody can truly hurt me. These people, they may try to attack me or make fun of me, or maybe they're not even trying that. Maybe they're just being playful themselves, but I'm perceiving it this way. So whenever I'm feel my ego inflating and going like coming out strong and trying to like, take the piss at someone else, um give yourself some love. Really, put a hand on your chest, put a hand on your belly, and remind yourself that you really are safe. And it's safe for you to play, it's safe for you to take this as a joke, it's safe for you to show a little bit of muscles there without having to take it seriously. Six of Cups and the Magus as your advice. We were talking here about that castle and about going back to family, or about like, thinking about that in a certain way. And the Six of Cups does talk about melancholy and about times in the past when we were innocent, when we were kids, when we were feeling kindness and joy and all this. But it doesn't talk only about it. It can also talk about patterns and about things that we were perceiving and experiencing back as child in the childhood, and especially emotionally, because we remember, okay, I can remember details and stuff, but the emotional impact is what models us in a sense. And with the Magus here, I think that it's like a new start for you. It's like, okay, now I have the power to take resources from where I was. And sometimes when we are on a healing journey, we can get a little bit biased. And of course, that we as we uncover like our patterns, as we start seeing our maybe shadowy side or this or that, you start realizing that maybe our caretakers weren't perfect. Maybe they've done mistakes, and now we are working to heal those mistakes. And we can grow resentful, some of us, not all of us. Maybe it's a good point now with the Magos and with all this positive energy here, with all this lightness. There's so much lightness and positivity in this reading. It's a good thing to remember also what they did great, your parents and your caretakers and your teachers. What was really something inspiring for you? How you learned kindness, how you've learned giving and service. Um, yeah, how the warmth that you felt, whether from actual parents or grandparents or extended family. Uh, there is no extreme good and bad. There is no person that it's only bad. We've all came into this world as babies. We grow from innocence to yeah, all these patterns that we take in and so on. So maybe it would be a good exercise to simply just look at this, because this is your focus. And the Magus is like, it's a number one, it's a new beginning, it's a new start, and it's also very powerful. He creates his reality, which is another hint at that, or maybe even stronger one, that you do have the power, you have the physical resources, you have the emotional stability, you have the vision, you have everything that you need right now to start again. So, and I think that you can draw actual strength from your past right now, from if you find those moments that were nourishing. I don't say that all of you that are listening and resonating more or less with this reading had an amazing past and an amazing childhood. No, it's not that. But couldn't have been all bad. There must have been something there that was nurturing to you, and there must have been somebody in your life that was kind to you. Draw strength from that, and inspiration, really inspiration to create more of this into the world, to create more kindness, more joy, and offering and service. And these cards don't even need much explanation here. Like, look at the sun with the wheel of fortune, which is called fortune. And this is Jupiter energy, right? And the sun is Leo energy. It's that the joy, the growth, the safety, feeling really safe, feeling really connected, and knowing that everything changes, and knowing that this is actually I think this is really finally a time for Sagittarius to really enjoy life, to really go for the pleasures, to really take it lightly, to really become joyful, um, to move forward and expand with confidence and with full awareness that this is still just a cycle. Everything changes, everything is impermanent. But now it's a good cycle. Make use of it as much as you can to build up as much as you can build, to go as far as you can go on your journey without putting pressure, taking it lightly. All right. All right, all right, all right. Now let's see what this Rumi Oracle has to say for you, my love. Quite excited about this reading. Can feel the lightness and the joy in it. Divine Mother manifests. Well, thank you, my love. This is number 15, so that's another 6. 6 having to do with service and with growth. And kindness. All right. So Divine Mother manifests. Oh, you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss. For those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards. That plant, flower. Okay. See what's the guidance here for you. You are being asked to receive a gift, completely and utterly, whether you feel sufficiently worthy or not, or appropriately and readily attired. It is time, and the bestowal of this gift is as it should be, whether it seems to be in the best form or how it should be according to your opinion or the opinions of others. It is as the Divine Mother has accorded it to be. She has her wild ways, of course, and oftentimes her workings in the world are, to put it mildly, downright unfathomable. Yet, somehow all things, all creations, all life, her every working serve love. You are one of her creations, and so is the imminent manifestation of your own heart truths. Live it, love it, receive it completely. It is yours and meant to be so. This oracle comes with additional guidance for you. No matter whether or not things appear to be working out, they are. And you are held in the loving protection of the Divine Mother to keep you from straying from your highest path and divine destiny. There is work here for you to do upon this planet in your own unique way. It is the work of the Divine Mother, the work of love. So then allow her to take care of you, even if you wonder what the heavenly mix is up to at times. Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice, and I obviously with the sun here, you definitely guided with the wheel of fortune. You're really safe. It's a really safe time for you to enjoy, to receive this gift of lightness and love that's being bestowed upon you, Sagittarius. I hope this makes sense to you. I wish you have a really nice and joyful month of January and a beautiful year ahead. Happy New Year again, and an amazing decade to come. Uh, it's a completely new cycle. There you go, the fortune, the wheel of fortune there. So yeah, enjoy all that. If you like this, I don't know if I already said, if you like this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you here soon. May our practice benefit all beings.